Hey folks, welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Today we've got a special treat for you. We're going to go visit our friends over at Creature Comforts Brewing Company again, and we're going to have their winter IPA. They're based out of Athens, Georgia, so stick around and enjoy it with us.
Winter IPA, bitter on my tongue, but I like it. You laugh and say, funny how the cold can ignite us.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we're drinking and reviewing. There's Andy in the attic. There's Jay. I'm Ben. What are we drinking today?
The winter IPA from Creature Comforts Brewing Company. Yep.
This is only our second beer from Creature Comforts, right?
True.
Yeah, we did Tropicalia.
Is it that we don't? I mean, I'm sitting here thinking about what I see.
You can't
We
see
don't
these.
travel.
These come
just
from
don't
our
know.
good friend.
Okay.
Good friend Ty.
Mm-hmm. Tropicalia is one I would drink every day if I had it here.
Yeah. I mean, that was a Hopped Up Beer Review Wall of Fame beer. The spoiler alert. Should have said spoiler alert first, I guess.
Yeah, so this one is a little bit dated, but not too bad. So, I'm sorry, Ben, it says piney, snappy, toasty.
Well, they've said that before, and it wasn't. So we'll see.
It has pine cones on the can.
I mean, giveaway.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
This is winter, a cold red IPA. So it's a cold IPA, red IPA. 7.1%. As Jay said, snappy with a piney aroma and toasty notes. It is available in November through January. So that's the being dated. And if I'm trying to remember when and how, I guess that got it in December when he visited for the playoff game.
Yes, it shows December the 5th it was born on, and it shows usually Best Buy a few months later. But.
Yeah. So.
Mhm.
Couldn't find much about this beer. There's not a lot of information on the web. Their website doesn't show a lot. So let's talk about Creature Comforts. It is a regional brewery from out of Athens, Georgia. It's founded in 2014, opened by 6 people in a repurposed former Chevy dealership and tire shop in downtown Athens. They expanded production in 2018 into a second Athens facility. They brew beer, vodka, seltzers, and spirits, such as gin, bourbon, coffee, liqueur. Prior to recording, Jay noticed that they also brew out of Los Angeles, California, under special agreement, it says on the can. They expanded into Los Angeles in October 2023. They had delays. They originally wanted to be as early as summer 2021. They, to do that, to expand to Los Angeles, they had partnered with the director of the Avengers movie. So, Marvel people will have recognized this because we already mentioned the beer Tropicalia. When they filmed the Avengers, a lot of it was filmed in Georgia. And the actors got a hold of this beer while, off. And especially the guy who played Thor, Helmsworth.
Chris Hemsworth, yeah.
And they really liked Tropicalia. In
Great
fact,
beer.
in one of the Avengers movies, well, and at the end of the Avengers movies, after the credit scene, and they're like, after they've been battling, they're just sitting at a table eating like burgers and fries. They've got a few of the beers on the table with them. They're not saying anything. They're just exhausted and just eating and having some beers. And then in a later movie with Thor, where he is like, he's let himself go. He's just overweight. He's just being a slob and overeating and drinking beer, and he's drinking Tropicalia. They really like this beer. The director liked the beer, so hence he got the special agreement to brew out
The investment.
so he could get his Tropicalia out there, because
Right.
Georgia, like you said, you're in the neighboring state and you can't get Creature Comforts. So yeah, they're regional, but not our region.
And rumor has it that they kind of found out about that beer by watching Hopped Up Beer Review and seeing our Wall of Fame.
When did the Avengers movie come out? Were they already looking?
I have no idea.
Is this
I don't
like
know anything about Avenger movies?
Time as a cycle,
Time
circular,
continuum.
not linear? So you're saying time is not linear; it's time is circular.
I'm saying I know nothing about the movie, so I don't know. I can't even tell you when
it shows.
they were.
So it shows your time.
Yeah. It's rumor, though. Rumor has.
Rumor. When did that rumor start?
Long time ago.
20 seconds ago. Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
Mm.
All right. Who's had this one before? Anybody?
Oh, you cheater.
Yeah. I'll try it, Jay. I'll go first.
I had one and I was like, let's have this for a review. So I saved it for y'all.
Well, that is very nice of you.
I will jump in and go first. I think that the first two sips of this beer, I think it was very clear, kind of what you said, malty and then the piney. On the front end, I got the malt, that malt flavor, and then I got the pine and the resin on the back end. The great thing to me is the pine and the resin are not that strong. I mean, they're there, but as somebody who doesn't like IPAs typically for pine and resin flavors, that didn't bother me, the amount that I get in it. It wasn't overly piney or resin. So I think this is actually really good beer. I really like this one. What have we had another red IPA before? Hadn't we done one other?
Yes.
I thought we had. But I mean, I really like what they're doing here, and I hate that this one is one we can't get and then only available a few months out of the year. It's an 8.5 for me. Mm-hmm. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, it's really good. I agree with most of what you said, man. I mean, red IPAs they're not common, so we don't see a lot of them. And if you do see them, typically they're not canned. You might find them in the actual brewery tap rooms because they're limited, small batch. And it makes sense. They probably, like they said, they really only brew this like what November, December, January it's available. So they're doing it in a small batch anyway. It almost has a little bit of a, I don't know, is it a spicy rye-ness to it or something along those lines? But it's got the pine aroma and kind of that snappy, toasty, I guess, as they listed. I mean, it's a good description. To me, I'm still more of the fan of the citrus on the Tropicalia that they have, and I'm gonna be biased to that. I mean, it's just such a great beer, so I'm gonna give this one an 8.
Andy, Inlay Attic.
Yes, it is piney, snappy. I guess I would a little crispness to it, but that's typical of a cold IPA. But I agree with you, Jay, when it tastes like almost like our spiciness of a rye.
Yeah.
Almost like I say weak in terms of describing a barley wine, like a weak barley wine almost.
Yeah.
Like a muted or watered down barley, but this doesn't taste watered down. But it is not your typical IPA. It's interesting how the malt and the pine really blend in as one. I like it. I'd have it again, but I'd give it a 7.5. It's a good one.
Ben with the IPA lead.
Yeah,
Again, who's this guy?
not another traditional IPA that I like better than you guys.
Yeah,
That's
that's
really
pretty
what
much it.
it boils down to.
If it's a traditional IPA, you're not gonna like it. It's got to be something extra.
Something different, yeah.
I mean, it's good. The IPAs I've had from them are always good. There's another one that, what's their other standard hazy that I've had? Is it called Bigger Dreams? Does that sound right?
And these are the only two I've ever had from Creature Comforts.
Yeah, Bigger Dreams is their New England hazy, and so the last time I was over, when we went over to Atlanta, I picked up a 12-pack of Tropicalia and then 12-pack of Bigger Dreams. Had those for a while.
That will be an 8.0 for the winter IPA from Creature Comforts, Athens, Georgia, home of my favorite band, REM. So definitely, if you get a chance to try this beer, you should grab it. And let us know what you think about it down in the comments. We would love to hear that there, or in our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server. It is a chat room. Come tell us what brewery is in the hometown of your favorite band. We got other links down below, and you can check out some Hopped Up Beer Review merch along with some other things. And yeah, with that, sure, like, subscribe, cheers, that notification bell. Thanks for watching. There's Andy and Attic. There's Jay. I'm Ben. See you next time. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.